Let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. It's June 22nd. That is a Wednesday, Oil Inventories Day, 2016. Let's get this Forex trading day going, huh? So good morning, my friends. It's really good to see you. Really good to have you here. Welcome to another Forex trading strategy session. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. We're an ECN that gives you access to Forex, energies, metals, and indices. Our execution's quick. How should I say this? Our execution times are low, and our fees are low. But our goals for you are high. We do these sessions every morning, 7:30, which is approximately London lunch, so 7:30 New York time. Every Monday through Thursday here at Forex.Today, and every Friday at FX Street for premium members of FX Street, where I am also Forex Speaker of the Year. How's your trading day going? Similar to watching paint dry or what? Well, so here's the Euro USD today. Started here. Chinese yuan set at the weakest point since April 15th. The Japanese finance minister said it was unlikely to see unilateral FX intervention on Friday if the leave vote prevails on Brexit. So what's the opposite of unilateral? Multilateral, yeah. Which means unilateral means, is the Bank of Japan all by itself, in of itself, going to jump in and intervene after Brexit? And they said no. Okay. Okay. Turning point in the market. Swedish consumer confidence. Good number. There's a jobs report there. The unemployment rate, 7.6. Not good. South Africa CPI, 0.2 month over month, 6.1 year over year, and that's a disappointment. Or maybe that's actually good. I don't know. When you get up to numbers like that, when everyone else is at zero. Well, anyways, good job, South Africa. What happens when your unemployment rate's that high up? Or inflation rate? You get riots in the street. Okay. Mortgage application is really good. That just came out just recently. So looking up at the board, S&P 500 futures up 0.1%. Euro stocks 0.4%. Crude back up 0.5%, back at $50. Notice this though, we're up 5 bips. We've been stuck at 1.65 on the 10-year. Now we're at 1.7, so yields going up, which means prices on those bonds are coming down. Moderate move on euro dollar. DAX up well over 1%. FTSE up 0.75%. No major move out of Asia. And France, who cares? Right? So I joke about it every year, but what happens in the summertime? Tourists move to go spend some time and money in Paris, and the French population strikes. And guess what's happening in France, right? Strikes after strikes, more strikes, and then after when the strikes are over and it's all resolved, holidays. That's what's going on in France now. And if you think about it, this is what the whole point of Brexit's about, right? So like the UK wants to build business and finance and wants to do global trade, and that's why they entered the European Union, for trade. Let's make some money. Let's get some business together. And it somehow turned into a big socialist experiment. And the UK is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, we were just wanting to do some trade. We didn't want to turn this into some socialist pig dog system, right? So, I think when you look at France right now, where there's there's train strikes and garbage truck strikes and all these strikes, right? Oh my goodness. No? Yeah, you know, I don't know, Marina. I don't know. I'm not there. The last thing I can figure out is you know, with I don't know, dude. Andrew, so I've been listening to my friend in Manchester too much. I don't know, really? No, because here's what I've always said about the European Union. Its greatest weakness should be its strength, but when you sit down with Europeans, you realize it is a weakness. You know, and right, the UK is not so sure about the French. The Germans are not so sure about the French. The Portuguese are unemployed, but if they had a job, they would want, 3 months of holidays. What? 3 months of holidays? You want a siesta too, like in the middle of the day, right? So, when you look at the Italian economy, the Spanish and Portuguese economy, and let's throw in the French economy, they're all different, right? They're just all different. Different goals, different wants, different needs, and then on top of that, different strategies to employ these different wants and needs. And then you contrast that with France, Germany, and the UK, right? I know, don't forget Holland. Yeah, but anyways, they are radically different from each other, right? The UK, France, and Germany, they're like three different books on economics, right? Right. Nuno Silva says, which Portugal? Not mine, really? You don't get 3 or 4 or 5 months of holidays? Really? I knew someone at one time was telling me about, oh, well, I get this vacation and that vacation, and then this gets paid for and that gets paid for. And what about food and gas? And oh my God. Right. So, anyways, I'm just saying there's such radical differences of opinion on what should happen. Like, how do you govern all these different cultures when they don't even have the same economic or political strategy? And yet, it should just focus on, hey, how can we get together, create jobs, raise income, and if you want to tax the hell out of people, that's fine. Right? But look at like France, for example. Why is their economy hurting? Is it the UK's fault? Or is it their taxes are too high, their red tape is too thick, so on and so forth, right? So whatever. So you know, I don't know. Maybe the UK should leave and then just restructure business relationships with the European Union. So that kind of thing, right? I don't know. Europe seems to be a political mess. So why not? Who cares? Well, let's just make some money, right? That's what it's about, right? Wasn't that what the union was about in the beginning? The whole point? Let's cut out some red tape and let's all make some money. Oh, except Greece and Italy and Spain and Portugal and Ireland all lied on their books. They're cooking their books. Yeah, well, that's a problem. So anyways, let's move on, .com. Is that right, Andrew? French productivity per capita is higher than the UK? Yeah. Wow. So I guess, what, if you don't live in London, it's like a whole nother country? So anyways, yeah, so let's, yeah, like I said, let's move on. Let's make some money. Let me throw down my drawing tools and like get going here. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be able to do the special webinar Friday morning. I'd like to, but I have class at Harvard on Thursday night. And speaking with the professor, he's pretty lenient and flexible. He said, if you miss class once with written notice from your doctor prior to your absence, then you will be formally written up with a warning. And if you miss a second class, it's grounds for expulsion and an F grade. I like say, what? Yeah, yeah, isn't that nice? From seriously, a doctor's note. I'm like 400 years old, right? I look like an owl, right? I look in the mirror now. I'm like, who's that? So yeah, and then with homework, it's great. Your homework, if it's late, you will be immediately written up with a formal warning, letter of warning, with a new due date. And if that due date is not met, and it's not written satisfactorily, it is grounds for expulsion and an F grade in the class. Go! So don't be like, so, you know, I don't know. And I have a lot of homework already. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Fun stuff anyways. So I'm sorry, guys. I'd like to do it, but the problem is it's not that I'm not a tough enough guy to do it. The thing is, by the time I do it, I won't be good. I'll be tired. I mean, right? 90 minutes worth of sleep is just not enough. And then I'd suck at the New York Open. And what's the point of sucking at everything? So I just have to say maybe I can't do it, right? So there you go. Fred, it's a 4-year degree program. It's a dual degree program. So I graduate in 2020. Yeah, it's super cheap, Fred. Practically free. All right, so M2, I'm looking at this, could be an interesting thing. If you're a USD kitty catter, oil down, I guess is what your opinion would be on global macros. US dollar up. If you think some of that could come together, then I think you should pay attention to this monthly M2 cluster. Okay? And if this continues to hold and you're bullish on the dollar or bearish on the CAD, I think you might want to consider this opportunity if we get a breakout. Okay, now obviously this is going to be a challenge, so maybe at least that's your first target, right? So let me zoom in, show you how to trap this. Fred, I guess Ivy League schools are like boats, right? If you have to ask what it costs, you can't afford it. Okay, there you go. You should just say thank you. And right. All right. So here we are in a range, okay? And I'm just wondering if we cycle up on this. And if we do we see something like this? And if the answer is yes, incoming mail. Who does incoming mail? I just got an incoming mail sound from like 1980. Incoming mail. Oh, that's probably MT4, right? Incoming mail. Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the change on, yeah, okay, yeah, you got it. That's right. So anyways, that's what's got my mind there. Okay? What do you think of that? So there's a quick way that you can get feedback on this, of course. Oops. Okay, so I took a screenshot. Oh, of course you can't see it because I got this thing going. Okay, so I took a screenshot here. Save it as a JPEG, of course. Okay, so I got a couple of choices on the site to get your feedback. One way that you can do this, let's say it's an informal discussion. Okay, so it's not necessarily a trade plan, but maybe you just want to get some quick feedback. A great place for that is the activity feed. Oh wait, I'm not even logged in. Okay. Oh wait. I wonder if I can I just drag? Oh yeah, good. So I can just drag this here. And what do you think of this potential breakout? Okay. And you guys can give me some feedback. Okay. What do you think of this potential break? You can comment, for example. Now watch this. If you click on this, you can really zoom in. All right. And this is it's a live feed, so it's very similar to Facebook, where it'll update very quickly. You can leave me some comments. So like if you're trading throughout let's say the London session, you want feedback from your community, that's one way of doing it. Okay? So if you would like me to review your setup, why don't you post that right now in the activity feed? Oh, our Tim's got one on. So you've done a full trade plan? That's even better. That was just a fast way if you wanted to make an informal post, right? All right, let's take a look at our Tim. Euro USD made a lower low, retraced 50%. Price is also sitting on the roll reversal. Okay. I think this could be a good selling opportunity, okay? So, to take this one step further, okay, I do like the fact that you hit the weekly reversal early in the week. What tends to happen if you hit the target early in the week? By the end of the week, you should touch the weekly central pivot point. Okay, so you got that going. You do have this roll reversal here, as mentioned. Okay, and really the gap. Okay, so that's the open for the week. So what our Tim seems to be looking at here is higher high, or sorry, lower low, lower high, lower low, retracement, okay, into the roll reversal. And let's change the color here. How else can I do this? Yeah, I guess I'll have to do color. Okay. Seems valid to me. Just try to see anything else going on here. I mean, yeah, I'm okay with that until it gets above, right? If it gets above the previous area here, obviously, that's going to be a deal breaker, right? So the risk that you're facing is the area from your entry to this top, right? That's your area of risk. So that if price went higher than that, then this is probably what others are looking at, or at the very least consolidation. So that looks nice. Cool. 2 likes. Anybody else? Okay, Nick's got one on the homepage as well. Let's take a look. And by the way, guys, on these, if you have more than one time frame, it's helpful, because if you say, "Look, Wayne, this looks like a sell opportunity at 15," well, how would I know if it's valid if I can't see the hourly or the 4-hour, right, or something? I mean, you can't just look at one time frame and say this is a sell. All right. So this is right off the bat. This is a little bit better. Okay, crude looking topish. Hey, Nick's okay. That'd be great if you threw that. Oh, so you did throw that in. So all right. So this is All right, so with crude topish, so you're doing this one second. Crude is at significant resistance levels. Significant. Okay, why significant? So what? Are you calling that an M4 or an R1? I mean, the major significance here is 50. Yeah, well, what I'm more interested in what you're thinking, Nick. You know, and your thought process is important. Remember, you're actually training yourself, right? So, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm looking at this as it's more like 50. 51 looks like bigger resistance than 50. So to me, this is a psych level, up or down, flip of a coin. Okay, but if you're saying oil's going to come down from this, that's fine. That's fine. But this isn't a bearish pattern, right? Right? Up, 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 up. Fib retracement into the moving averages. Up, 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 up. Right? It's not bearish yet. So you'd want to see, that's much more bearish for oil, right? So it's there, but is it really that important? All right, 50 is 50. It is a weekly R1, but it's sort of like Talladega Nights, right? You're either first or you're last, right? Well, there's more to it than just weekly R1. I mean, you could have weekly R2, or hell, there's weekly R3. Right. So, anyways, this is much more interesting to me, and that's 51 to 51 and a half. But there's no doubt the psych level is huge on this one. Okay. But okay, fine. So you think oil's down, I guess? Let me go back to this. So you are, with crude looking topish, we have a chance to go long. Okay, that is almost meaningless. Okay, so let's work on this, Nick. This has a chance to go. Oh, all right. So we need to work on this, and so let's do this together. What first thing I want to see from you is maybe even another time frame, but at the very 4 hour, okay, fine. But also this idea, like I want to see support first, okay. And so this almost says this should come down a little bit lower before it goes up, right? And then what we want to start to see are opportunities to buy, right? So that's how I might look at it. Now, if you are thinking this is going to bounce at M3, you need to say it. I mean M2, because your pivot point theory would say M2, M4 if you're a bull. But we're not really playing the M2, are we? I mean, it kind of looks like we're already through that, right? So why not say S1 is the bottom and say, someone might play this touch of 2700, which would be about there, is a bottom. And if that comes down to there, then you want to look, right, for an opportunity. Something like that, right? Because it doesn't look like this is huge support at the moment. So you're right. But even then, that begs the question, even if it was support, you have a chance to go long. Well, why don't you drop me into a 15-minute chart if you think that's happening soon? Okay, and what does that look like? Okay, and that's where we're also going to want to see, like, maybe you have this set up in the range, and then you're waiting for the breakout, which is, of course, what I posted, right? But, all right, so we need a little more detail. Yeah, okay. Well, okay, so if you're just throwing down some quick ideas, throw it maybe down in the activity feed and just say, hey, check this out. Just, this is what I'm thinking, right? So let's do it this way, guys. Throwing down ideas on the home page is okay, but what I would let's maybe treat this as a culture of fleshed out trade plans you're committed to, right? Like this stuff, let's say, is graded papers, right? People are going to judge you. What did Nick say? What did Artem say? Like these are. I want this to be fleshed out trade plans, not hey, this could go up. It might go up, right? And then maybe over here, this is where we discuss it before you post it. So maybe this is where you're getting some ideas like, hey, what do you think of the potential on this? And you guys can share some feedback. Because this won't go on the homepage. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. And of course, like I said, that you guys can, you can sit on this page and share with each other throughout the evening or throughout your morning or whatever it is that you're doing, right? So again, that's a live feed, a lot like Facebook. Okay, and then of course when other trade ideas or news comes in, like this news piece here, you're also updated. All right, so it's nice. You're getting a quick update on what's happening on the site. Cool. So yeah, any more ideas? I'd love to see what's on your mind, guys. There's one more thing to consider. See? Now that's relevant information for the USD CAD. So I'd like to see that on Nick's mind, right? And now that we're 1, 2, 3 and off of that, maybe it's important. Oh, is that right, Nick? Then I missed that. Sorry. That's just live webinar stuff, right? All right. So that's USD Kitty CAD. And remember, yesterday we talked about USD Kitty CAD being, or at least the, here, let's go over to a different one. Max, do you have any thoughts on Aussie? Okay. So here's Beast yesterday, and we talked about this, that you can't buy it, but you could set up a short. So now it's going to be very interesting to see how we play off of this area. Right? Mac, well, 2 hits on resistance. Cool. If you have a second, Max, show me your resistance on the activity feed. Just take a screenshot. It should take less than 22 seconds for you to post that, and I'll take a look at what you see. In the meantime, yeah, sure, I'll bring it up. So like I said, take a screenshot. Right? Oops. Did my software just freeze up? There we go. So if you don't know how to take a screenshot, even silly Windows has, what's it called? I got to go to, I don't use it on this PC. Let's see, accessories. What do they call it? Snipping tool. All right, so even silly windows. No, print screen is no, that's way too slow. So they have something called snipping tool. I don't know if you can see this anymore. So you say new snip. Can you see this? Yeah, I think you can see it. Select the snip area. What? Hang on, I got too many. Okay, new snip. And then you drag and drop. Right? So here's just a small area. And now that's an image. Right? It's immediately going to ask you to name it. So you have to save it. And I got, right, so you name it test post to Forex.Today, right? And that's in my pictures area. Okay, so that took me a long time because I'm also running a webinar in the background and over 100 charts, right? But that's all it took, right? And so now you could just drag that into the activity feed. You literally don't even have to upload it. You just drag it into here. Just click the little camera and then drag that file in there. Or you can save the chart as a picture in MT4. Sure. Same thing, right? Sure. Save picture as active workspace, active chart, post image, and get the link there. No. Active chart as is, whatever. Yeah, so now you name it. Don't do it as a ping though. I guess you can. At least it labels it, right? Sucks that it's a ping. Right? So anyway, so we've done a couple of there. So what you would do here is you got to open up your folder, I suppose. See, I just dragged mine out of Snagit. So you got to go to your folder. You probably already have this open anyways if you were doing this a few times a day. And you're going to find your image. So I think we had one under Aussie, right? It's this one, right? So all you'd have to do is just drag this in, right? And this odd pair is now at resistance. Would you short now? Add photo. Okay. That's how complicated it is. And that took me a long time because I'm not used to it. I didn't have my folder already open. But again, if you're doing this and sharing conversations throughout the day, you'd probably have that folder open. So you just save, name it, drag it. I mean, literally, it should take you 15 seconds, maybe 25 seconds, right? We'll take a look and you can see I'm already short. But, you know, that's even better, right? Okay, isn't that nice, guys? So again, it'd be nice if you shared with each other. So in this case, what you're doing is you're fishing for comments. All right, so let's take a look at Max. Oy vey. Wow, I can't see that. Can you see that? Let me try it again at full screen, maybe. Oh boy, I can't see that. I just see black. I have to stand up maybe. I can't see that. I can't read that. All right, so you're up there. Yeah, this is why you guys need multiple time frames. So, okay, so what is this? This is a 4 hour. Uh, did you leave any comments? Oh, you're just showing me a resistance, huh? Yeah, so I need your comments, man, because I don't know what you're thinking here. I don't see anything highlighted. So what is this? You got a fib pointing down, but I think you're bullish, right? No. Yeah, you should have some resistance highlighted, right? You should show me maybe, and of course now you can't see my drawing. Maybe let's try white. Maybe you can see white. Hang on, I have to reopen this. For some reason my drawing tool is giving me trouble. All right, white. All right, so maybe you're looking at this. I mean, I don't know. I have to guess here, Max. Yeah. Where's, oh, snag it? You need to buy it. You know, it's money. Yeah, I don't know what it is, 50 bucks, 25 bucks. I don't know. Or you use your Windows one, all right, or you save it right from MT4. But you know, I always find it interesting when I mentor from time to time and I see your charts. Very often I'm surprised, like, you know, at what you guys trade with. I don't know what any of this is. This is a 4 hour chart going back to January. Yeah, I'd like to know more about what you're thinking here with your fibs. I don't know what you're. Of course, oh, but of course, I use fibs differently than everybody else, don't I? That might be it. So I guess what you're thinking is this. So you're a bull, but I'm not sure, right? I fibbed it back at the first time it resisted. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So see, here's the thing, like, and it reminds me why I do my quirky things from time to time. But let me change again to white. You see how your extension is down here? And that always bothered me. Like, why do I have to draw this fib retracement to catch a 618? And I know the 618 predicts a 1382, but then the stupid fib tool draws it down here. So I do things funny where when I taught myself how to, I taught myself Fibonacci mostly just by looking and observing the charts, which is basically Elliott wave too, right? I realized that, you know, so I draw my fibs upside down. So because the 618 upside down is simply a 382. It's the exact opposite, right? So I draw my fibs upside down. So it says, well, if this is a 618, then the 1382 is going to be here. And so I have my fib retracement and extension plotted at the same time. So, you know, you know, I don't know. So this is funny. So I'm going to do some surmising here. So again, when you post, guys, let me know your thoughts. I believe your plan is down here to up here. So essentially then, since you asked me about this, you're asking me if it's going to break north. And you're already long, right? You're already long, so you're asking me, should you get out? But actually, I'm looking, you don't have any trades open. So this plan's dead then. You're already late. You should have been long Friday or Monday. Okay? Because the entry max is here. You want to be long in here. So the fact that we're up here, see, this is what's confusing me, is that tells me you're not long, so you're thinking bearish, right? And you want to know if you should enter. And then I see your fibs pointing down. That's the confusing part. But again, that's my fault. But yeah, so it's sort of, It's an interesting question. It's right. Yeah. So there are more relevant things going on here as well. You're missing the fact that we are a whisker away from weekly M4 as a top. I don't see this here. You don't have it marked. So this area here, if I were to draw it, is also weekly reversal pivot. On top of that, about 75.88, which I think is about here, is a monthly R1. Okay. So you're worried about double top, and I'm thinking, you know what? It's going to do this anyways. So I don't know. I don't really. Yeah, that's resistance. How about that? Yeah, we'll call that resistance. And if so, I think what you should be doing is getting off the 4-hour, dropping into a 15-minute, and showing me a reversal pattern like, and then drop it like it's hot right here. Okay? Okay? Yeah, and this goes to everybody too, but thank you, Artem. This is MT4. You can get anything you want. Just use Google and search. Okay? But yeah, so give me more time frames, guys. Mark your charts. So, you know, I've been at Harvard now, I think almost 2 years. And one thing they teach you, and you forget if you haven't been in school for 25 years, one thing you get taught again for the first time, you got to label your charts. You have to label your charts. You have to label your charts. Label your charts, right? So you show me your resistance and support. You show me, you know, give me arrows where you say, okay, you know, I'm looking for this on the 15-minute chart, you know, that kind of stuff. Give me multiple time frames, because the high time frame is only strategy. So if this is a reversal area and you think it might fall, indicate that, write it down, right? Well, first of all, highlight the resistance on your chart, and then write it underneath in the notes, right? And then it's also a good idea to show me a smaller time frame where you're looking for this. So the arrows are very helpful. And of course, you can take it, you know, as far as you want, right? All, so on and so forth. All right. Cool. Let's do another one. Yeah. So the one I use, Zelda, is Snag It. Snag It. Yeah. Anyone want free feedback while I'm here? Well, you should, MT4, I actually like drawing with MT4, and that's a trick of in itself, isn't it? Oops, so let's, right, so I'm already short this. So, you know, you got to set yourself up with a good toolbar first and foremost. So I've removed a lot of things and I've added a few things. So like drawing rectangles, right, are there. I do this way for drawing like patterns. Okay. Sometimes I'll use triangles. Okay. You know, these are pretty good. So you can see how, you know, with a little bit of practice, you can get it done pretty quick. Okay. So again, just to, you know, just to reiterate, I suppose, use the activity feed where you're in a discussion, right? Just some quick feedback. You don't have to put, you know, a lot of thought. You're asking for just quick feedback here and there. Hey, anyone looking at this? Hey, what do you think about that? Okay. But this is where you should try to make a statement, because trading is about putting your money where your mouth is, right? You're making a statement. I predict this is going to go up for these 3-4 reasons. I think it's going to go down because the daily 5, because of the reversal pivots, because of the 15-minute 21 and the 15-minute oscillator. Therefore, I'm looking for a particular pattern on a 5-minute chart. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? And that's the kind of stuff that should go here on the home page. Because at the end of the day, what you want to be able to do is go back in life and see how you did, right? So here's our attempts, 3 ideas already. Now it'd be interesting if you could go back in life and just see how you're improving. It's your own personal report card, okay? And if you were doing this for every trade that you were placing real money on, just imagine this is your trade journal now. So you're not just winging it anymore and throwing down some trades. Hey, let's see if this will break. Oh, I bet you that'll hold. Versus you could say to yourself, it could be your trading, you know, strategy or methodology and risk management to say, before I pull the trigger and risk real money in the real market, I will take the time, even if it takes me 20 minutes, to document step by step by step the reasoning for me to take this risk, right? I should be able to document on multiple time frames why this is an opportunity that's going to make me money, and then post it, and it's your trade journal. And now you can track it here, right? You see what I mean? I'm using MT4, but I don't think that should matter. You see what I mean? And now you kind of have to, you know, I suppose the politically correct is person up. You got to person up now. Got to man up, right? Where, you know, before you pull the trigger, you got to document your reasoning. And if you don't have that kind of time, maybe you're a little bit late, or maybe you're a little bit hasty, right? So it's your community, it's your site. Use it the best way possible, huh? Thank you, Keith. Well, CAD's breaking out to the downside, but we got a monthly M2 in there. So don't be shocked if 2750, you know, is a floor. All right, so Aussie yen, anybody worried about this? We talked about it yesterday, and it did come down for a while. You can see that the top of the candle. Oh wait, all my drawing tools now are in. in white, but the top of the wick is actually here. Okay. And why do I have all these lines? Well, let's go from a daily chart to a 5-minute chart. Like, Wayne, you have so many lines. Let this propagate here. There's an EA waiting for a tick here. Come on, EA. Oh, I guess we'll have a cup of coffee while we wait. Unless I don't have the EA on this one. I thought I did. No, maybe I don't. Well, one of the things I was looking at, okay, or one way that I trade, how about that? I look at yesterday's bottom, yesterday's top, okay, and I decide whether I'm a bull or a bear. Okay, and what's the point of that? Okay, so now it kicked in, right? Good, so now my EA kicked in. What do you think? Is this a coincidence? That it was exactly 61.2%? Or sorry, 61.8%? 61.8% to the pip. Right? Yesterday's low, yesterday's high, 61.8, not 0.5 or 0.3, not 62%, not 65 or 66%, 61.8%. Does that seem to be a random walk to you? Just a coincidence? Huh. Just happened to be 61.8%. Amazing, right? And what does that predict? What's the extension target? One 382. So if this pattern fulfills its destiny, we're going to 79 and stopping. So a whopping 100 pips. Now we're halfway there. And yes, we're at resistance, but kind of like the other when Max asked, is it, what do you think about this? Well, I think it's resistance, but if you were a bull, you've jammed your stop and you're going higher. I mean, so it's not necessarily an entry yet, unless your plan is to let this lower low, lower high, lower low you. But that's not going to happen in the next, little bit. Right. So you'll see that the target for the week is somewhere between 79.60 and 80. So 80ish, right? And then we got, what is this? Is this a daily? Daily R3. So, you know, if we have a rip-roaring day, you know, oops, the target is way up here. Let's just call it 80. Is that the dead Kennedys? Wow. How did that pop out of my mind? How weird is that? Kate, how was the CAD news? Pretty, pretty decent. Pretty decent CAD news. CAD's coming in and testing that monthly support. Also, more importantly, or let's say just as important, um, USD index on the 4-hour went up, hit the 4-hour 21, and dropped like a ton of bricks. So we're riding the 4-hour 21 and we're back below a weekly monthly cluster with the 4-hour Stokes dropping. So pretty bearish on the Dixie today, and that probably has a lot to do with Yellen. But if you didn't know anything about Yellen's speech yesterday, you would look at the 4-hour dollar index chart and say, yeah, that's bearish. So that no real surprises. Okay. So we had a potential, right? We had a potential like, what if it does this? Okay, but it hasn't done that. So what's the next move? Okay. Down into there. And then if you are bullish, you should, you know, create a trade plan in this zone here for a kind of how you're going to treat this one. If it 1, 2, 3s, are you going to take it long? Okay. And I, you know, so you just have to decide how you want to play it when you're in extreme pivot areas. Okay. So if it comes down here, are you going to trade it like a bottom and go back the other way? If I were me, I'd make the decision now and not when we're down there, because you know you're gonna be, I don't know, dare I say, emotional about it. Okay, so make a decision now. There are some monthly pivots going on there, and that's what I'm showing you, this monthly support pivot. So I'm gonna I'm gonna document this in the activity. It just broke out to the downside based on the good CAD retail sales numbers. Uh, monthly support pivot and weekly pivot profit zone not far away. to act as future support. Cool. Nice way to document. So copper at the monthly central pivot point, gold below the weekly support, oil still stuck at 50. Now, I think we covered it yesterday on oil, right? Oil hit the weekly M4 and crashed. Further confirming. Wait, so this is daily. I don't want daily. What am I looking at over there? Oil, US oil. What do we have? 50, 15, 15, 23. So they're slightly different. On my other platform, I have this right here as the pivot. And it held perfectly. Yeah, my other platform says this is M4. And like I said, Dixie coming down. So you'd expect euro dollar up, pound dollar up. Let's drop in on the euro pair. Amazing how the weekly and monthly central pivots have kicked in, huh? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Will it continue? Well, if it's going to continue, we're going to have to get through the psych level of 113, right? Now, I believe 114 and 115 are bigger, but let's also take a look at, I think if you throw this on the hourly, now let's do 15. There should be an issue here around the psych level. Okay. Obviously, the next levels, 113.50 and then 114, right? This is another great example of why you use pivot points. This week's high is the weekly M4, monthly M3. What our plan was earlier in the week was this. So if you're a bear, you need to wake up like pronto. Okay? And what you're looking for is this heads up, and then what if it hits 13 and starts to roll over? Okay? Then that's exactly what you want as a bear, right? And based on monthly, M3 predicts an M1 month, and that gets you down 108.50. Ho, 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 ho. Wee, wee, wee. Right? Obviously with a stop down here at the weekly pivot, but still, So you either chase your tail or set up the next ambush. Right? So I hope you guys support each other through the session, share some ideas, and give each other feedbacks, right? And general banter and chit chats acceptable as well. And then as you develop and flesh out real trade plans that you are seriously putting money on, I would throw it out here and use it as your personal trade journal, right? Because if you're too embarrassed to put your trade plan, in the sunshine, when are you going to be confident enough to trade other people's money, or at least your father-in-law's money, right? So you got to practice, being bold and smart and logical. And there's no time than right now to practice your excellence. So anyways, say peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. And thank you for being here every day. Remember, oil's likely to move at 10:30 New York time based on oil inventories. Okay, so don't forget that. And I will see you tomorrow. Right on, guys. Again, thanks for the hard work. It's going to pay off.